on Flipperistas? It's your girl Goddess Arami, and we are back to show you how I made this very much risque hot girl dress that I don't know where you're gonna wear it to, but I made it. I saw it on TikTok and I wanted to make it. So yeah, let's get into it. The first thing I did was fold this mesh material. It is mesh in half, and then I folded it in half again. Mesh material is a little finicky, so it took me a minute, but just take your time folding it, because when you fold it and you place your pattern on top, that way you only have to cut the dress out once, and also your neckline. You don't have to cut it out twice like you would normally do. I've learned this trick on YouTube and I've lived by it since then. So of course I am cutting this out, and I am giving myself at least half an inch of seam allowance. Because mesh stretches 4 ways, you don't need a whole lot, because you want this to be fitted to your body. You want it to be bodycon, okay? I did cut it a little longer on the bottom just because the dress that I'm using is a house dress for me. It's a little short and sometimes I have pop-outs, and so I cut this a little longer to avoid that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my boobs are covered, because this is a very much see-through dress. So what I did was I measured across my boob. I got 9 inches, and I wanted to make a very long strip. The original of this dress, the strips reach the floor, so there's really no exact measurements for this part, because essentially what I'm trying to make sure is gonna happen is that my boobs and my butt are covered. And by double layering the mesh over itself, it gives you coverage in all the places that you need. So these next few clips is just me trying to make the most of what I have. I did have 4 yards of this fabric, but I used the other 2 yards to make some heels that you probably don't see in the video, but you will see a little glimpse of them. I also made those for TikTok. So here I am just making the most of what I have and trying to find the pieces that I can make the longest strips out of. Now, there is no set measurements to this. I am just going through here and I'm trying to find the longest strips. Once I'm done with that, I take those strips and I fold them in half, and I just make a straight stitch. You don't normally use a straight stitch when you're doing stretch material, but because this part will not be stretched in no way, shape, form, and fashion, I'm just using a straight stitch to maximize the amount of material that I have. And I am folding them, stitching them, and I'm going to take my little famous loop turner and I'm going to go right through, all the way through, and I'm just going to pull them through, and that's going to create that string effect. It's not necessarily a string, it's more like a loop. I've said that a lot already, but I'm going to do that with all of those various strings and strips that I cut out. And the triangle pieces are for, if you saw me cutting those out, I don't think I explained that well enough. The triangle pieces are to cover up my crotch area and to also cover up my boob area. In just a moment, you will see me cutting out a rectangular shape to make sure that my buttocks is also covered. I ended up cutting this piece way too long, but you will see me alter it later on in the video. I did the same thing with that. I stitched them together, right sides together, and then I flipped it out and I had a square rectangle. So now we are going to unfold our dress and remove the back piece from the front piece first and foremost. And then I'm going to alter my neckline on my front piece just so I can have that the way that I like. And you'll see me doing that right about now. You have the ability to make your neckline be whatever you want it to be. So now we're going to work on the back piece, because what we're doing is sandwiching all of these pieces in between the front piece and the back piece. So I'm going to put the triangle piece right in my boob area. I had to, fix it a little, but that's fine. We're making our own clothes here, sometimes we just have to fix things, and that's okay. So I am layering those pieces on top of the back piece. times out of 10, it's right sides together.